Close your eyes for the next 10 seconds. You're banned from being productive. No to-do lists, no goals, just you and your breath. Congratulations! You've just committed the ultimate act of teenage rebellion in 2025. You did absolutely nothing. Last winter, I became an accidental time criminal from the rush. It's during the crowded bus I chose to skip the early subway and walk to the station. It was in those stolen moments that the world quietly unveiled itself. Sunlight painted the sky differently each dawn, while the rain-soaked lawns exhaled a sense of spring. These trifles seem to be piled up in our everyday life. But ask yourself, when was the last time you paused to really see the world beyond your work? We're living in a world where even our breaks are booked. 10 minutes between classes aren't for breathing anymore. They're for squeezing in extra homework. Weekends, just a different flavor of scheduled suffering. Rushing between tutoring schools and extracurricular classes like caffeine-addicted taxi drivers. Even staring out the window for 5 minutes is forbidden. Someone will instantly ask whether you finished all your work. Life isn't about stuffing everything into gaps between the minutes. Since when have we become so obsessed with counting minutes that we've already lost the ability to truly live in them? Our society, in its relentless rush, in our pursuit of efficiency, seem to have pressed fast forward on our life. We have chosen speed over presence, mapping out our days with such precision. Yet, when every minute is pre-labeled, what room remains for the serendipities? And where does the poetry of time go? Let's look at Tao Yuanming, who abandoned an official post for rural solitude in an era that associated success with bureaucracy. Disillusioned with the hollowness of worldly vanities, he chose a life aligned with nature and his own soul. There, he found clarity, not constraint, turning peacefulness into poetry and solitude into freedom. His secret? Courage, a rebellious mindset, and a soul that had long seen beyond the veil of worldly illusions. So, I started my own time rebellion. First rule, intentionally arrive 5 minutes late everywhere. It wasn't about being disrespectful, but about gifting myself pockets of unexpected freedom. To my surprise, I even gained unexpected motivations, finding myself finally reading those books I planned to finish, catching up on months of neglected diary entries, and even working through tricky math problems that had stumped me for weeks. Then I scheduled 10 minutes of absolute emptiness every day. No music, no homework, no screens, and definitely no productive meditation. Just me and my awfully boring ceiling. First few days felt like torture, but soon that emptiness began to dissolve my anxiety. My mind, once crowded, finally finding space to breathe. My thoughts began to flow freely, and new ideas emerged on their own. It seems that deliberately living a gap and reclaiming the ownership of our time is far more powerful than rigid planning, even if it's a bit against common sense. While society labels lateness and daydreaming as failures, It may simply be our subconscious resisting impulse demands. Our brightest insights often emerged not under pressure, but in moments of mental freedom. Midnight's inspiration, showers epiphanies, while we tend to give up in those final moments, it often ends with unexpectedly bursting into productivity. Even briefly zoning out can help you analyze information, which is called the default mode network. Basically, your mind's backseat crew that only shows up when the main act takes a break. Yet, this isn't the crucial point. What really matters is that you must realize the importance of hitting a pause. We proudly call ourselves time managers, but nowadays it is time that rules us. Why don't we just let the world rush by, let the clocks tick, let the deadlines bark? Your inner rhyme will know its own tempo. Your instinct will know when to leap. We chase time for doing more things, while more doesn't equal to worthy alive. Being more fully, completely, unapologetically, and regretlessly alive. It doesn't matter how time amplifies your drawbacks and manipulates you. Escape from the hustle and bustle, free yourself, and use your courage to say out this loud. This moment belongs to me. So, how to rebel? Start small. Instead of filling every spare minute with hurry, try simply gazing out the window during those 5 minutes between classes. Exchange one of your lost hours for a serene walk with no destination. Let your thoughts wander like Tao Yueming, who stick to his own heart, wander like the blooming flowers in the shadows. Before you fill your calendar, block 15 special minutes and label them. Do not disturb my existence. Because sometimes the most productive thing you can do is absolutely nothing. If this all feels uncomfortable at first, good. That's how you know it's working. After all, the most revolutionary question in our overscheduled lives isn't, what if I don't? It's, what if I do? What if I dare to see time not as a master to obey, but as a field for our souls to wander? This is where true freedom begins. Not in adding more, but in courageously leaving space. In these deliberately empty gaps, we don't lose time. We find ourselves. This moment is yours to claim. Thank you for listening.